Are you looking for a welder for beginning projects or just hobby projects? Stay tuned to today's video. I think we may have the welder for you. Hi, this is Ross with DIY on the House. We were sent this welder from Troozy. It's a Rilon 135E MIG welder. They sent us this welder as a beginner welder or a hobbyist welder. So it's not a high production welder. It's just for occasional welding or if you need just something zipped up real quick. So we will be putting the wire in today. I'll show you how to wire it up as if you were just getting it for the first time. If you've never welded before, these are all good tips. And then we'll go ahead and actually weld with it. My daughter Bailey will be with us today, and she has never touched a welder before. And so we'll get her and show her how to weld and just to show you how easy the machine works. Okay, so this is the welder. It's pretty much pre-assembled. It comes with the ground and the wand line already attached as it should be. It also comes with a power cord, and that just simply plugs into the back of the machine. And that's pretty hard to get messed up. And it also comes with a brush and a little tool to tap off any slag. And it comes with a spool of 0.8 millimeter wire. So to go ahead and get started, we'll just get this thing swung around. It does come with the sling. I did go ahead and just assemble that. In the instructions, they show you exactly how to install that. So we're going to turn the machine around and we're going to open the cover here. This is where the spool is going to be going. When we install the spool, the wire will be going around the top and into the feed. So we'll go ahead and open that up and I'll show you how to do that without the wire getting away from you. So you're going to just undo the tape and the paper, and then we have the wire that's already in the hole here, so it's crimped so it doesn't just take off on you when you take that off. Okay, so before we get started, we're going to go ahead and take off the cotter pin. Put that to the side. That's going to be the keeper for the spool itself. And we're going to lower the tensioner. So once we get that done, we're going to flip up, and then you're going to have a bearing here that's going to press down on the wire when it goes back down. Now we'll keep it in the groove of the roller. Now this roller is built for 0.030 wire or 0.035 wire. So that's going to take care of the 8 millimeter. It's already set up for that. Or you can unscrew this and switch the roller around, and that'll adapt to a bigger wire size. Okay, so the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to take our wire. We're going to make sure that it's going to feed, like I said, over the top. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the wire out. Now you want to hold on to this wire because it's going to want to take off on you. So go ahead and back that up. We're going to back that off to the other side, the front side, so that when I undo it, it's going to be on the correct side. So we're going to go ahead and spool that on. I'm going to go ahead and take the pin and install that, and that's going to keep the spool in place. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and grab our wire on the inside. And that's going to want to unspool on you. And it's okay if it does a little bit, but you just don't want it to take off on you. You're going to take a pair of cutters and clip that wire so it's nice and clean. And this is also flux core wire. The flux is already in the wire, so you don't have to use any flux. I'm going to insert the wire into the first little guide. It's just a hole. It's like a little rubber deal. And you're going to roll that in until it comes through. Okay, so now that we have that, I got the wire right here. I need to get it fed into the line, the wand. And that is just going to feed in just like so. Okay, once that goes in, we're going to feed it a little bit, and we're going to bring down the keeper and then our tensioner, and I'm going to put some tension on it. There, that's pretty much bottomed out. I may have to back it off depending on once I turn the power on. Okay, so now that we have that, I'm going to keep the door open and I'm going to go ahead and plug it in. Now that we're all set up in here and we got our wire fed the correct way, I'm going to go ahead and rotate the dial until I hear a click. Once I hear the click, that means the machine is activated. So once I push the wand, that's going to start moving the spool of wire and feeding it in. Right there, you can see. And what we'll do, we'll inch this in. We don't want to go ahead and just turn this way up and crank the wire in. We want to make it nice and slow. So I'm going to adjust it all the way down again. And just inch it in. And what we want to do, we don't want to end up forcing the wire to come out of this wand and get bound up right here. A lot of times what I'll do, I'll take the shield off and unscrew the tip. And go ahead and just let the wire feed out. Okay, now you can see that the wire just came out, so we're going to take our tip. We'll just go ahead and switch it down to off. And we're going to feed the wire through the tip and screw that on and tighten it up. Okay, and then I'm going to throw our shield back on, just like so. So right now it's actually ready to start welding. So we're good here. The tension on the wire seems to be good. It's feeding through just fine. And we'll just go ahead and throw our cover back over. Now this is ready to go. So now on the dial on this machine, as you rotate the dial, it's rotating the amount of current going through, and it's also adjusting the wire speed at the same time. So what it's doing, it's matching the current and the wire feed. This one does both with one knob, and that's just, it's for, you know, a beginner. So you don't need to have all the technical, you just need to turn it on, do your welding, and be done with it. So I have never used this unit before. This is going to be the first time. With all new welders, you're going to have to figure it out. You're going to have to figure out your settings and how it's going to be giving the best weld. Okay, so another thing, that this isn't going to be for super duper heavy duty metal. It's going to be for a thin gauge metal, and you also have to watch out when you adjust the current. If you adjust it way up, good possibility you're going to burn through this metal. So that's what you need to kind of figure out, where you're going to be at with the current in relationship with the thickness of the metal, so you don't burn through and ruin your project. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to clamp on our ground lead. And since I'm just doing a flat weld here, I don't care what kind of position that's in. I'm going to get my line out, and I'm going to make sure everything is straight on that. I don't want to end up kinking this up and doing this all kind of this number. You want to kind of keep that as straight as possible. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab our helmet, put that on, and you'll want to use gloves. And if you've welded before, you know that can get a lot of little spatter going on. It can put some blisters on your hands. So we've got this done. I'm going to go ahead and put this in between the 45 and the 70 setting and see what it does. Okay, I'm going to throw it down. We'll see what we got. I'll lower that out a little bit. This is the part where you kind of got to figure out where your welder is at and what it's going to do. So I don't like it yet. So if it starts to tap like that, you'll want to go ahead and increase, try to get a little more amperage out of it. And okay, that seems to be a little bit better. That does leave a little bit of spatter on it, which you need to grind off, clean up. But that seems to be a fairly good setting for what we're going to do here. Okay, so when we're welding, we're wanting to keep the wire roughly about this distance right here away from the metal, or keep your tip about that distance away from the metal that you're welding. And you want to go back and forth, and while you're going back and forth, you're constantly moving away from the weld. And that's just going to be able to go ahead and weld the two pieces of metal together. So it's going to be kind of like this. Back and forth, and back and forth, and back and forth. So what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and take this piece of metal out and bring in 2 pieces of 1/2 inch. We're going to go ahead and put those 2 pieces together. So on this, like I said before, is you're going to be going across both pieces of metal, across, and you're going to be not moving crazy speed. You're going to be just kind of stitching it back and forth, and as you'll slowly move it away from the weld you just did down the line. And that will end up welding those 2 pieces of metal together. Okay, we're going to be handing it off to Bailey now. So she's going to be basically following the soapstone outline that I did. So we'll go ahead and get the wand in her hand, get the helmet on, and then turn on the machine, and she'll be just slowly going back and forth, and we'll see how it works. And you've never welded before, right?
No, we'll see how it goes.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, you're going to roughly put it right between the 1.5 and the 2.0. And then the machine will kick on. Right, that's good. Okay, and as you do it, you'll squeeze this trigger, and then it'll spark right up.
Ready?
Yep.
Ooh, okay.
Very nice, yeah, nice and slow. Okay. Okay, wow.
No,
Isn't that bad for the first time ever? This is how she did on her first time with this welder. For her first time, this is not a bad weld. Obviously it takes practice and a lot of hours to get it down, but that's just showing you how easy this welder will work for a beginner. So I'm going to go ahead and try it and join it up and see how it works. And yeah, I think it's a great little machine, but we'll give her another little test here. Okay, and that's it. That does good. And those 2 pieces are welded together. Okay. Now we'll try a little bit something a little bit harder. And we'll take 2 pieces of pipe, clamp on one side, and I'll go ahead and do a tack, and then have Bailey weld around. Okay, so we got a little button on these. So now all we have to do is weld around the sides. So, take a clamp, all right, hand the helmet off to Bailey. Okay, so here's Bailey's welding. You know, obviously first time, but with this machine, it was super simple for her to get started and keep growing. Like I said, it just takes practice. Once you get it down, you're good to go. But I think she did a great job with this welder, and this welder did an exceptionally nice job of starting and keeping the weld going instead of, you know, not sticking and stuff. So impressed with the welder and impressed with what she did for the first time ever. That's awesome. So okay, so that's the Troozy 135E MIG welder that we got. They let us use this machine. They sent it to us to give it a try out and give it a review. I think it did great. That's the first time she's ever picked up did any type of welding at all. And
I mean, I got a good teacher. So.
Yeah. So all it is if you get a decent machine that will do the job, and then all you got to do is practice and practice and practice. And once you get it down, picking up this machine anytime you need to do a little job, welding it up, and you're done, put it back away. And it's only 12 pounds. So that makes it really nice. You can bring it to different locations, do welding for friends on crafts or in hobbies or whatever, maybe a gate. So yeah.
But yeah, thank you for watching DIY on the house. We'll have the link to this machine down below. It's very affordable on Amazon. We'll also have a couple links like to the helmet. That kind of helmet, what does that one do?
That's an auto darkening helmet. So what you can do is you can actually see your project. Once you spark up, it goes dark, and then you can actually just start welding and be able to see the weld as you go. But once you stop, it'll go light again, and you can just look around and see everything that you need to see.
Yeah, so we'll have that link down below, the welder down below, and just thank you for watching DIY on the house. Leave any comments or questions in the comments, and hit the like and subscribe button. But thanks for watching.